Hello and welcome back, it's Pride of Anglia, and today we reach the thrilling conclusion of our first season of management. Will we somehow drag Braintree Town into the National League? Will we do it as champions? And most importantly, will we finally be allowed to go on a coaching course? I seriously doubt that last one. We have 16 games left and are currently 5 points clear of Hemel Hempstead at the top, which is obviously not insurmountable. We're 21 points clear of Dartford though, so look good for a playoff place at the very least. And whatever happens, we've massively exceeded the board's expectations, although obviously not by enough to justify spending 950 quid on me. And they really should, because we are officially the manager of the month for January, our second prize so far. We kick off against Eastbourne, we play a corner in which their keeper completely misses, allowing Kieran Clements to tap home, and just before the break Silvio Bellows' long throw finds Callum Davidson to bag yet another goal. Hutchinson pulls a goal back after the restart, but then a typically not non-league move sees Femi Akinwande restore the 2-goal cushion, and then Alfie Payne finds Davidson to seal it. We're pretty good. Clements still somehow valued at £0 with 24 out of 24 headers won there. Big in the centre backs, Luke Pennell is our third choice and has lost his place at left back as well, and he informs me he will be leaving on a free at the end of the season, so good luck to him. And our other main centre back, Nathan Cooper, is on the score sheet as we dispatch St Albans 3-1. A brace from Akinwande as well, which takes him joint top of the scoring charts, and one of the guys he's joint top with scores for Oxford City to see Hemel Hempstead drop points, meaning our lead extends to 7. The chairman then provides to get more unneeded cash that for some reason can't be spent on improving the squad or my coaching credentials, and that's a problem because Shelbourne then offer Corey Davidson a contract, and he won't even talk to me about one because we can't afford him. He's been excellent this season, so that's just great. We could do something, but the board just don't seem to care. And there he goes. We can't compete with wages like that. We face Hungerford next, and hopefully there'll be no loss of performance from Davidson. It's a dull game, Davidson has a chance which he might have scored, and Akinwande should win it for us late on, but it's 0-0. What's more, as Hemel Hempstead win, our advantage is squandered back down to 5 points. Oh, and then Krasnicki gets off us as well, and while he will talk, we can't afford his quite modest wage demands. We take the lead against Dulwich Hamlet, but then bin it off, and Akinwande chips in with one of the worst penalties of all time. Davidson and Krasnicki were both utterly dreadful, so thanks for that board, although the Kosovan does reject the offers, so yay. Not that we can afford to renew anyone apparently. Hopefully it's all just a blip. We face playoff chasing Chippenham and a win would be nice. Krasnicki plays an excellent ball to Akinwande to start things off, and then another ball over the top finds the main man to smash home his second, and that proves to be enough. Will there ever be enough for the board's cash injections though? It's literally beyond comprehension at this point. Oh, and then Kettering, one of the 15 eligible local sides of course, tried to steal my assistant manager, which is understandable as he is more qualified than me. Also great to see Nicky just being honest about it himself. He's really not awful for this level and it's just not acceptable. He's on zero money, so I can see why he'd be interested, but somehow I am able to offer him a paid deal, so we'll see. And speaking of paid deals, Kieran Clements was prepared to accept a new contract on the same wage he was already earning, so that's something at least. And then Nicky does indeed sign a contract to stay, which is nice. We breeze past Tonbridge Angels with another solid performance before we face third place Ebbsfleet. The first half is a write-off, but Davidson puts his future transfer behind him with a towering header. We then look to have binned it off as they equalise in the 87th minute, but Nathan Cooper immediately restores our advantage. But then, just before the whistle goes, Dennis Bergkamp's literal son grabs him another equaliser. Ugh, that might prove costly. We get a 3-0 win over Maidstone though, including a rare goal from Jay Burton, and most crucially of all, Hemel Hempstead lose to Bath. A further brace from Akinwande and another from Davidson sees us get a much more convincing than it seems win over Slough, and as Hemel Hempstead drop yet more points, we move to a lead which, even if they win their game in hand, will be at least 6 points. And indeed, this secures us a playoff spot at worst. And then the chief scout rejects Kettering as well, which is nice I guess, but he did get to go on that coaching course instead of me, so I might just sack him at some point anyway. We enter the end game, 7 games to go, and we enter it with more individual silverware as we get our third manager of the month. Akinwande also scoops a deserved player of the month. Hampton and Richmond Borough are first, one of somehow only 2 teams to beat us in the league this season. It's not an amazing game, but we dominate. It feels like one of those days as Akinwande misses a sitter, but on the hour mark, a pile driver from Matt Johnson breaks the deadlock, and while we have chances to extend it, proves to be all we need for a vital win. We race into a 2-0 lead over Havant and Waterlooville before being pegged back, before an own goal seals a 3-1 win. Our youth intake is, well, it's unaffordable in any case, so we'll move on. The typical two of Davidson and Akinwande secure a straightforward victory over Concord Rangers, although our very settled side is disrupted as Jamal Balogun gets injured and we don't really have a replacement right back. We move to 86 points though with 4 to go, a 15-game unbeaten run. Hemel Hempstead win their game in hand, meaning we need 2 wins, although our goal differences are the same, and we still have to play them. But Oxford City are first, and we have to shove Luke Pennell at right back. Oxford get a corner, and, well, not sure what Johnson was planning, but it doesn't work, and they score. We get a penalty 5 minutes later though, but Akinwande misses. We try to equalise, but Oxford get a corner, and again, Johnson is in no man's land as Bancroft doubles their lead. And that's it. Utterly dreadful at exactly the wrong time. Hemel Hempstead obviously wins, so our lead drops to 3 points, and they're up next. This is the definition of must win. Lose and we drop to second and therefore away from the only automatic promotion place. I bring in Tom Bruce at right back because he is at least right footed, but it's not ideal. Obviously we get an injury in the only position where we couldn't afford proper cover. Cressing Road dares to dream though. A neat early move sees Krasnicki force a decent save. He then finds Akinwande as he so often does, and the main man's initial effort is stopped, but he reacts brilliantly to poke us in front. In the second half it's all Hemel Hempstead. They have some decent chances before hitting the woodwork. We look good to hold on though, until they get a free kick late on and Dobson's effort goes in. 1-1. Not a disaster by any means. We're still top, still 3 clear, but it would have made it so much easier than it will be now. So this is it, 2 games left. We need 4 points given the goal difference. We only get 1 day's rest before we play Dartford. We need to win. So it's great when Dartford come forward early on and smash in an opener. We do swiftly equalise though as Cooper heads home, but then absolute disaster as Krasnicki of all people decides to be a complete moron and gets sent off. It's our first red card of the entire season and he's done it now. Insanity. We somehow survive this chance from Dartford before Akinwande's effort goes agonisingly wide. After the break, Critchlow slips in the fast reacting Akinwande to send us in front, but then we immediately bin it off. Absolutely abysmal goalkeeping from Johnson once again. And then some shambolic defending sees them take the lead, which doesn't last a minute as we're straight down the other end and Critchlow fires us level. This is all extremely stressful, and it's about to get worse as Bruce gets a second yellow, so 9 men. 9 men. This is hilariously bad. Somehow we hold on though. Dartford should win it, but we get a draw. Hemel Hempstead of course wins, so we go to the final day now 1 point in front. It's in our hands still, but only just. And it's a local derby against Billericay to do it. Hemel Hempstead are away at Dulwich Hamlet. Can we do it? Krasnicki is a huge miss, but thankfully Balogun is fit enough to start at right back. Well, kind of fit, but we can't really afford not to. If the Hemel Hempstead game was must win, this one takes the biscuit. The amended midfield looks shaky, and then Balogun certainly does as he totally misses a clearance and then proceeds to give away a penalty. Why exactly did I start him again? They score, of course. Hemel Hempstead are currently drawing, but the goal difference means it's not enough, and then they take the lead, so we have to win. Cooper's header hits the woodwork, which is just wonderful. It feels like water bottle time. The second half drains away, but Dulwich Hamlet equalise, so we only need 1 goal because a draw would be enough. Nothing happens though, no matter what I do. But in injury time, we work a move down the left. It comes to Jay Burton off the bench to score and send us up, and no, it's offside, and the game lied, and I hate this game sometimes. We lose at home, and we don't get promoted, having led for virtually the entire season. A truly spectacular bottle job. How we didn't win that, I will never know. Hemel Hempstead only drew, but we finished second on goal difference. This speaks for itself. Ugh, no title, no automatic promotion, and yet we have to pick ourselves up for the playoffs. Colchester have just been relegated from League 2 by the way, so you bet I apply for that. We have to play Bath in the semi-final. For some reason, it's away from home. Krasnicki's ban gets extended by, of course, 2 games, so we're without our most creative player again when it really counts. I want to stress again, but we hadn't had a red card all season, and then our most important midfielder gets sent off right at the most crucial time. We go 1-0 down, obviously. This team, I don't know what to say. Obviously we were never expected to be here at all, but to throw it away on the final day like that is hard to forgive. Payne's free kick hits the woodwork, and we might as well call it now. Akinwande should score, but no, of course not. But then we do actually remember that we've been good this season as Davidson's looping header goes in. Can we still do it? I mean, I'm fine with a playoff win to be fair. In injury time, we have a chance again as Balogun's cross comes in and Critchlow taps into an empty net. and this time it stands. Last second drama, we finally decide to actually do something and we make it through to the final, where it'll be Ebbsfleet who needed penalties to progress. How many must-win games do we want to have? It's second versus third, so I suppose there's justice there, but we finished 17 points ahead of Ebbsfleet, so really there's only one deserved winner here. All we can do is hope. We are at home, so let's hope it helps. Not that it did in the final league game. Ebbsfleet dominate early on as Johnson is forced into a decent stop. Balogun then has a free kick, which is a decent effort, but then we give away another sodding penalty, and obviously Rakesh Bingham scores. He makes it 2, but thankfully for my keyboard is offside. Cooper can't keep his header down and we go in 1-0 down again. We continue doing virtually nothing, but a ball forward is chased by Akinwande, who is brought down for a penalty of our own, which thankfully he converts. Nothing else happens though, and the agony is prolonged for another 30 minutes. They play a long ball forwards and some utterly irredeemable defending from 3 players allows Polion to fire home a wonder goal, so it's kitchen sink time. And with minutes left, Pennell's cross in is dispatched by Marcus Goulburn to save us once again, and our reward is penalties. At least this is it, at least it can't go on any longer. Akinwande scores confidently, then Johnson makes a big save. Payne puts us in control, and Johnson saves again. Are we going to do it? We're going to do it. Matt Johnson's effort is disgraceful. They then make it 2-1. Bello makes it 3-1 though, so surely it's done. And Gesson only just scores, so Kieran Clements, one of our best players this season, has the chance to send us up, and he absolutely skies it. The worst penalty I've ever seen. I can't believe it. They score, so it goes to sudden death. We were 3-1 up a second ago. Pennell's penalty is saved. So it comes down to this, they score, we lose. I mean, are you actually kidding me? It's a masterclass, an absolute bottle job masterclass. We've managed to do it twice in the same video. I knew FM22 was going too well for me. I want to resign in disgust, but then that would be ill-advised, I think. The board still love us, of course. Enough to let me go on that coaching course? Oh, off. We have 1.1 million in the bank and you're saying we can't afford the 960 quid you've happily spent on the rest of the staff. As soon as I can leave, I will. So, what can you say? A season that will truly take some beating. If you'd have offered me a playoff place at the start of the season, I'd have bitten your hand off, but not like that. Team of the year is as you would expect. Would we have gone up if Krasniqi was available for those last 3 games? Goalkeeper, right back and left wing are clearly areas of improvement. Clements wins player of the year, presumably not for his atrocious penalty. Payne wins young player and Akinwande ends up with 33 goals. Krasniqi's 18 assists clearly missed at the end. Akinwande wins the division's golden boot as well. The chairman only wants to avoid relegation next year, but he does actually give us money for players. £301,000 in fact, which is mental for this level, and completely flies in the face of a club with supposed financial difficulties which apparently can't afford my coaching course. That will obviously all be going on wages, as we need to tie everyone down and frees are the only way to go anyway. Unless Colchester want to hire us, we come second in manager of the year, which okay, fair enough, and then the board offer me a new deal. So you want me to stay, but you won't provide the training. If we accept it, we probably will rule ourselves out of the Colchester job, but the funds are quite nice and I would like to try that again, and this time it not end horribly. You can at least give me a pay rise though. Fantastic commitment, he says. Where's my course, I say. Oh well, I'm off to do some transfers. I'll see you next time. It surely can't be any worse than that.